All right. I don't know if this is gonna sound good or not, but some of you asked me to show you the sort of the Tibetan, or I don't know how to call it, uh, the the basically the sound monks do in the monastery. I think you might have heard this um, somewhere in YouTube, or um, maybe you've experienced it close to monks. So the first thing is, most of the things I've seen, people are doing something I'm not very good at, but it's using sort of a undertone, like when you sing, uh, so that's vibrating here. Okay, so what I'm doing is here, and I can show you because if I move this part while I'm doing this, you can tell it's getting affected. Like, right? So if I move the Adam's apple, I can't keep the sound. And if you do it lower, it gets more difficult. That's the other problem with this. So that's pretty comfortable for me. But lower than that, it gets harder to keep consistency. Now, the other technique is very different, but it sounds similar. It's the way I can describe it is you affect the pressure of air. So what vibrates is your vocal cords, and also your, I would say, your trachea, or I don't know if it's correct to call it that, but it feels like that. Okay, so it sounds different. So that's the type of sound. Um, I think it's very different, and you can control it better. At least for me, it's easier to control. Um, so let's see. You can do. The other cool thing about this is that you can change the shape of your mouth while you're doing this, and it won't affect your tone or the consistency, because it's a very far it's very far from where you're doing the sound, which is here. The other thing is, I'm sitting in a chair right now. This is horrible to practice this, because your legs are pushing your diaphragm. So it's best if you sit in the traditional seiza, or seiza is a way of sitting that monks use, or lotus, or even those chairs that you use on the floor. I can show you one. Give me 1 second. Like either this, where this is pointing down, so you um, you will not push your diaphragm with that, or you could use a sitting cushion, which I have here also, and then you can also use something like this, to get your tone right. So this is good for me. Right, so you have something to get your tone from. So that's pretty much it. The way you do it is like when you have something in your throat and you do that type of sound, but then you have to do that very relaxed, like very relaxed. And I think this is the reason why we use it in the monastery, because it makes your mind focus. You can't do this if you're stressed. And actually, making a video is somewhat stressful for me, so I think it also affects the way I'm sounding. Because when you're meditating, you're breathing right and you're relaxed. The sounds come with less effort, more full, more consistent. So in a way, I think this practice of getting this sound is also a meditation on itself. You have a lot of self-perception involved in this, and knowing your body and trying things, practicing. So yeah, that's why I got into this and tried it. The other thing is the column of air that you are pushing out has to remain consistent throughout. Otherwise, you'll lose the sound or you get tight, right? So let me see if I can show you an example. You breathe out. So that's more constant, but if I'll try to mess it up intentionally. Oh, that's really hard to do. Hold on. There, see, like if I push too hard, you get this, you get, and that hurts. And it's very relaxed. It's better to try and do it on the lowest end of tone, like see there, that's not coming because it's tight. You're getting just the normal note instead of which is an octave lower. But let's see, if you go from a note that's comfortable and then you lower it, you'll get more, it's more difficult. So what I recommend you do is just relax and let the air do it the job. Don't push. So yeah, that's some tips for you. I hope this is useful, and if you want any more advice on this or examples, I can try and upload something. Okay. All right. Bye bye.